And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Gibby's Reviews. Today we're going to review Leviticus, that horror film that had two gay people in it. Three gay people, maybe four actually.
True, yeah, four. Yeah, maybe five. I don't know, maybe the whole cast, I'm not sure.
Well, I didn't have high hopes for this film. I didn't have low hopes. I was kind of like meh. I will say I did like the film. However, I feel like the director ran out of money and they wanted an hour and a half film and they just ran out of money and like, screw, let's not end this film because I was just so underwhelmed by how this movie ended. I will say that, and we'll get into that. But I'll just say I was pleasantly surprised. I liked it. How about you, Mitch?
Yeah, I'm more on the meh. There's nothing for me to hate about the film, so I don't hate it. I'm on the same on you as it could have had more. It could have. I think it failed in terms of just developing more of its narrative. Just trying to convey sense of what the thing is and how it actually works. I sound like a broken record when it comes to horror films and they introduce supernatural rules and all that. And I'm not too anal about it, but I still like to know the ins and the outs of how the whole thing operates. And I don't feel Leviticus does a good job at that. It tells you what it is, but it doesn't tell you the how sort of thing. And if I have to compare this or relate it to, this feels kind of like a mix between like a Final Destination and It Follows, I guess.
Mix mash, mosh, bish, mash.
Yeah. So that being said, if this was my first film directorial debut, I'd be happy with it.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Well, I'm still on the fence with you saying it doesn't feel like a fully completed film.
Yeah.
Whatever reason. Yeah.
It was kind of a slowish film, but I liked that part of it. It was a slowish film, but I was hoping at least we'll get more answers in the end. We're trying not to spoil it. We'll do a non-spoiler and then we'll spoil it a bit later on. So you got from the trailers, you pretty much got the gist of it. Like you already knew, it's going to be kind of like gay people that are kind of hated for being gay and pray the gay away. Hallelujah.
Literally pray the gay away. Yeah. And the metaphor of like, being basically the metaphor of hating your own sexuality kind of thing. That's what the whole message to this film is. And given it's 2026, the message is probably a little bit outdated, but it still hits pretty hard. There's a lot of people that are insecure about themselves, their own preferences. There's a lot of rural towns, which this film takes place in, that are very strong and adamant about this kind of thing, with like their excuses being the biblical nature. So I guess for a lot of people, it still hits in relatability. But even though the forefront of this is about, gay characters and all that stuff, being insecure and not allowed to venture into that kind of thing, it feels like it's kind of on the backbone of what the film centralizes in itself, which is this kind of really kind of eerie thriller. That being said, I was kind of expecting it to be a bit more eerie, a bit more unsettling. And this is just going on comparing to what we've seen recently in a lot of horror films, which, of this year was Obsession and even Backrooms. They gave me more of an emotional tug more than this film. There was a few moments there where, I jumped or I didn't see it coming or whatever. But for the most part, I kind of felt like I saw where the narrative was going. I kind of predicted where the narrative was going. So because of that, I didn't get too emotionally invested or at times what I'm supposed to be feeling, which is scared for these characters or like, unsettled by what's happening to me. Um. So yeah, I feel like if I'm gonna do a checklist on this film, if it like succeeded and failed narratively, I think there's probably more boxes ticking. It kind of failed than succeeded. And this is me trying to be very modest because I still enjoyed the film and the performances, of course, are what carry it. The two main characters, whose names have fallen short on me. I think one of them was Ryan. Oh yes, that's right. And the other one's name was Name.
Yeah. That's a kind of
It's not really.
yeah. I don't know if I like that name or if it's just so
Yeah,
pretentious.
I don't know. I suppose it kind of goes into what you were talking about last night, Josh, about how Name's parents really feel about him. We'll talk about that in the spoilers.
Yeah, true.
They were great. They were great.
Yeah, the two
They
lead
carried the weight
actors
of
were
the
good.
film.
Yep.
Yeah, especially most of the story centers around Name. He carries most of the emotional baggage because we're seeing everything happen from his point of view. And yeah, he did a great performance. I just feel the material he was given, it just fell short. And I agree when there should have been another 15 to 30 minutes of a film because the credits started rolling. And again, I saw it coming, but at that time I was like, really? This is where they're ending it? Really? Right here? Like, come on, a little more, please. And it didn't. So yeah, long story short, I think this film overall fell short for me. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's my
he
2
had
cents.
some like the strength points about it is it does keep you on the edge a little bit of okay, more like a thriller would. It's like, oh, what's going on here? Is this person? Are they like what's going to Oh, it's hard to not spoil it, but how is this going to unfold? And then we don't really get to see it unfold in the end. So we don't really. The best part of it was how the characters interacted and how you see on the trailer how the evil version of themselves, how that's going to work out. And we don't get that payoff. So it really, that's for me where it falls off. But it looked amazing. Like everything about the film, the look, the acting was on point. Blondie was Blondie's name. I thought he was pretty good. He looks like a mix between Chris Hemsworth and I've got his name, the guy who played the Joker in 2007. Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a mix.
Thing to myself.
I can see him being like another pretty boy, but actor. But he's a good actor.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed him as much as I enjoyed the actor that played Name. I enjoyed Ryan just as much the same. Sense of presence, I suppose. You can't help but sometimes be drawn to a certain character in frame, and for me, it was Ryan. Every time the two of them were in frame, I was more drawn to seeing Ryan's performance over Name. Whatever reason, I don't know. It's just some people capture the spotlight more than others. Yeah, but he's definitely got like a Heath Ledger kind of look about him, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing him in more projects to come. Also, too, I didn't realize it until like halfway through the film. Name's mother was Mia. Apologies if I'm going to butcher her last name.
Mia Khalifa.
Wazowski? No, I gotta Google it. 1 second. What was her name? There she is. Mia Wasikowska. I think that's how you pronounce it. And for anybody, including you, Josh, she was like the next big thing about 10 years ago. She played the role of Alice in Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland and all that stuff. And then I must have blinked, and it's now 16 years later since that film, and she's now playing the mother role in films. So it's like, I went home realizing where the hell has time gone, and how do I get it back? Because for me, that movie, Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, even though it was a piece of garbage, to me that still felt like yesterday. Yeah. And she was pretty much the new youthful kid on the block. It's like, where the hell did that time go? That's my biggest question.
To me, I kind of see when I see Pirates of the Caribbean 1, where that's 23 years old or 24 years old, that film. But it feels like it came out not long ago.
Yesterday.
And how good it looks. It's like, no way this is 25 years old.
Still good.
But
But yeah, it was weird to see her in this like secondary role as a mother, and I'm not going to give away spoilers yet, but you and I both agree her mother was very questionable.
yeah, they didn't give her to really her justice. I feel like she was getting interesting towards the end. Like, okay, I'm seeing another.
Because there was a mystery.
Yes.
Right, there was a mystery, but nothing was answered. She's just this very plain, not really showing any emotional involvement
At all.
kind of character.
Very obviously
and because
too.
That's like, it's because you know something and you're not going to tell us yet. So we're waiting for the answer, but it never happens. And it's like, okay, maybe she was just a bad mother. I don't know.
I know. I can see how. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. So yeah, let's move on from the spoilers. Let's give a quick rating before we do, because we really have to go into the spoilers. Overall, I agree with you that it wasn't scary, but then again, the trailer wasn't scary, so it didn't really market itself wrong or anything like that. I did enjoy it. I respect that it wasn't like a jump scary movie or anything like that. They kind of actually really try.
Moments,
they try to go with the whole narrative and everything, and actually use the chops to make a good film, not use anything cheap. They didn't really try to cheap out, I feel like. So I'll give the film a 6.5 out of 10.
Yep. Good call. I'm the same. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. In terms of quote unquote supernatural thriller horrors, it's not going to be one of my go-tos to watch again for rewatch value. Mainly because of its ending. I don't feel like it landed, or just didn't give us enough of a final punch, and because of that, I'm just going to give it a 6, flat. Because there's nothing so much to unlike about the film. It's just it didn't give us enough. So,
and I know how much you hate that.
Missing.
You hate when they don't give you enough. It's like, but it makes you think. It makes you think, Mitch, after the movie's finished.
No. That's the thing. That's the thing. This isn't even one of those kind of films where it leaves on an ending where it's like, can you articulate the ending?
Yeah, it doesn't give that vibe at all. Yeah,
it doesn't give that vibe at all. It's like, he's. I'll talk about that in spoilers. So yeah, that's a 6.5 for me. 6 flat. Sorry, not 6.5. And yeah, that's just me being as meh to it as possible. To be honest, without discrediting it, because it's not a bad film in terms of like it's executed shit. It's just missing in those little magical moments to make it something more. So yeah.
If you like the trailer, I think you will like this movie. So go watch it. If if you're not doing anything, there's nothing really on at the moment. So give it a shot, and we'll see you in the spoiler section. And we are in the spoiler section now, Mitch. They used fire, right? Fire was like an element that was really important against the whole, basically how you can apparently kill or at least temporarily disable this zombie thing is using fire. But I just thought that was probably the cheapest, worst written kind of part of the film, is they use fire. But they didn't really explain what the fire's about. They just like, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, fair enough. But the preacher who casts this curse on the gay kids and all that stuff, he basically explains that fire represents
lust,
like in his own words. Well, not lust, like it represents something that can consume and something that can repair or something, right? Yin yang, and then extinguishes the flame. And I guess it's metaphorical of separating that personality from its host.
No, that's cool. I think that's cool. But I think the whole, when they got the lighter and the guys go, I thought that was a bit corny. Just corny.
Well, it's only because it's never explained.
Yeah,
and it doesn't actually kill it. It just like keeps it at bay, kind of like garlic to a vampire.
You just reappear somewhere else the next day anyway. And they don't explain
Right.
can it die and it comes back, disappear, and it logs
No,
off,
because
for the day and then logs back in the next day with full health bar.
no, because in the end, this invisible entity that takes the form of whoever these kids are mostly infatuated by, it's clearly the metaphor of their lust for homosexuality, right? So it's something that you can never actually kill. You can only repress it.
Yes,
So by
metaphor.
repressing it, it will metaphorical. You can only repress it, so eventually it will come back in another way, or another shape or form, right? And they explain that. Ryan basically says like, "All right, you'll leave, you'll forget about me, but there'll be someone else that you fall for, and then that thing will come and take you, right?" So it's basically saying like, you can't deny what you are. You know what I mean? Like they're gay, let them be gay, so to speak. And that's what I was getting at with like the message in the film. It it is for me very outdated because we've had homosexuality in films for like the better part of nearly 40 years now. You know,
Mm,
like if that's going to be the cornerstone trope of the film,
I see what. Yeah,
it needs to be more. Like
that would be more
we've
of a
celebrated,
'90s something. In the '90s would have more matched
oh,
that, like the whole
yeah, even
gay
80s,
yeah,
man.
80, yeah, or even
Like yeah, like
'70s.
cool. Just keep going and going.
Like the
Like
older
we've been
the
celebrating.
ideas, it would have been better. Like the older the movie is, the more this concept would have been kind of better.
Oh,
But being done
yeah, if
today,
this
it's kind of
concept
like
came out
meh.
in the 80s, like yeah, exactly. It doesn't have a strong enough theme
Yes,
for me to
there.
be a convincing story. You know, and like it is very single layered. It's just like, you know, you got preachers that want to pray the gay away. You got young boys who are still curious about the sexuality and they want to explore it. Cool. It's honestly, we've seen that story for the last 30, 40 years in
Mm,
different versions. Some of them are comedies, some of them are dramas, some of them are horrors now. This film definitely would have been bigger if it came out 30 years ago. You know what I
yes.
mean? It definitely would have been a more of a big, stronger push to the whole message involved. But we're in a generation now where it's so socially acceptable. So you're not going to be seeing an audience, I think, that are watching it because of the homosexuality stuff involved in it. They're going to be watching it because they want a jump scare, because they want to be trying to
Yeah.
understand the supernatural thing. Because,
Yes.
you know, every generation or every decade, we're going through a new, what's the word? A new track of a genre. And I mean, for the most part, the last 2 3 years, every single horror film that's come to the cinemas, for the most part, has been quite successful. So everyone's going to be seeing this film as a horror film, not a gay drama film.
Yeah, so it's
On the forefront, right?
lukewarm across the board. Like the whole gay thing is
Yeah,
lukewarm now. The it follows thing is lukewarm. The
yeah.
it's just kind of a lukewarm
The
film.
thing is, but I'm not a big fan of It Follows, but the concept behind It
Mm.
Follows was
Oh,
interesting,
it freaked the hell
right?
out of
It's
me.
this exactly. It's this very passive enemy that just slowly comes at you. It's not running at you. It's not expressing anything at you. It's just slowly coming towards you. You know what I mean? And the way they executed that was quite clever for the most part.
Yeah.
This film, I feel, doesn't have that edge. It had potential to go that way, you know, where like at any given time it will appear as, you know, someone that's infatuated by you, as, you know, and try to lure you into a false sense of security, and that's when it gets you. Cool premise. I just don't feel this movie executed it in the way it should have. Cleverly? I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying the right words. But
Yeah, yeah, you could
the way
tell it
that
was whoever wrote it. It's kind of an early film. Like they don't really have the whole writing thing down pat. It's kind of
yeah, it could have
basic.
definitely used like a rewrite or just a polish on the script.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing that kills the film for me from liking it more is its ending.
Oh, I
And
know. That's the
the ending is Name manages to suppress this entity that almost kills him by using fire. And what we perceive at first is he's managed to capture it in this abandoned building mill thing and burn it.
mm,
But in, the old horror trope, he didn't technically kill it. And so he's chosen to go with Ryan out of town. I'm guessing to the city. It mentioned Wonga, or I can't remember what the place was called, but they're leaving town. They're leaving this rural town that they hated, and the only reason why they were there to begin with was because they both, loved each other. Cool.
It's a shit. Oh,
And then we get it. It's a shithole. It's the old. It's. I'm wrong. This film is actually Brokeback Mountain meets It Follows, not
hey,
Final Destination.
Heath Ledger.
It is. Yeah. And, Brokeback Mountain had very similar concept themes as well. People trying to hide who they are from everyone else, because it's something to be oppressed, it's something to be hated on. Back to the ending. So they're on the bus, they've accepted the fact that they are, I guess, fated to walk Earth with this thing behind their back. And on the surface, it's like they're living happily ever after. Then we get a glimpse of the entity in the form of Ryan again, outside the bus, just staring into the window as it's driving past. And it's like, yeah. I mean, I thought it would have been more clever if the real Ryan was the one outside chasing after the bus, and then his name with the entity again about to kill him.
Yes, no, yeah, that was the best part of the films is when I'm not sure if Ryan or name were the entity. Is it them? And they could have played with that more, and they didn't. And especially in the end, there, a massive disappointment. Yes. No, it was the two normal versions. Like,
there was one scene where it tricked me. It was when they're at the school, and Name's looking at Ryan, and Ryan's like, enticing him going to the bathroom so they can have a little makeout session or something. And at first we think Name's going to fall for it. You're an idiot. It's clearly not Ryan after that talk you just had. And, oh, wait, he's smarter. Name, walks away. And then the bigger trick is actually that was Ryan, and he was encouraging what he thought was Name into the bathroom, and then the thing attacks him. I thought that was really clever.
That was clever.
The way they orchestrated that was good.
I want to see Ryan's point of view from that, where Ryan sees Ryan sees Name, and he's like, "Come to the bathroom with me," and then he walks in, and then while Name stays there, the entity's like, "This is my time to go in," and then he goes in and chomps him. That was cool.
He must have bit off half of his ear because, I'm just trying. Or maybe he gripped it or something. I don't know, but yeah, that was pretty visceral, and that was probably as violent as the film got. Was that scene? If I'm going to be very picky, I think that was another letdown. Was the lack of violence in such a film, because I can't help but compare it to Bring Her Back, mainly because they're both Australian horror films, right? And the violence in that is so visceral and impacting when it happens. It's brief, but when it happens, it hits like a sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was very toned down, the violence in this, and maybe that's because we've just been drowned in a pool of violent films recently, or I don't know. But it just didn't have that impact value to me.
No, like there was a horror. There was a bloody scene in the start with the woman with a girl, but we didn't even get to see what happened. It was kind of a corny death in the beginning.
It was that reoccurring frame where they have some kind of table or bench in the way of frame, and we only get to see them crawl over, because they do the exact same shot later in the film with Name trying to escape the entity of Ryan in his room and all that. So yeah, I mean, I thought that would have more significance, but it didn't. So now that we're in the spoilers, I want to talk about the mother, Mia. Oh, I've forgotten her last name again. Mia Wasikowska. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I apologize.
You shouldn't have said it.
Yeah, sorry. We'll just call her Mia or Alice. She was the biggest disappointment for me in this whole film, because she comes off as this character who's clearly got a history of some sort, because she's well connected with this church of something, and they just moved there to this rural town because of that church or cult or whatever you want to call them. And we just don't get anything more out of her. She plays the role so bland that it lured me into a false sense of security that clearly at one point there's going to be more to this character than meets the eye. But we never ever get that. We get a little subtle hint when she says, they're here to help you. Name, they're here to help you. But I was waiting for this big plot twist, or not plot twist, but more that she also went under the same curse, that she's actually, in fact, like a lesbian. Because honestly, stereotypically, she does dress like one. And she managed to survive these urges because, like they say, she ended up having a kid. And so her focus and all that was based on raising a family and suppressing her urges. So she can't, quote unquote, beat this entity.
Beat it.
But we don't get any of that, man. We get this very one-dimensional mother role that has no emotional attachment whatsoever to all this trauma that her son is clearly going through, you know? Like, there's moments where this name kid, he's given the Oscar performance of his life, and then it just cuts to the mother, and she's just like, it's okay. You'll be fine. Just like, I was very upset about that, because I know Mia, she's, you know, she's 10 years ago, she was in a lot of stuff, you know, independent films and like high budget stuff. And yeah, just to see her in this performance, it was very, very disappointing.
Yeah, like she was in it. I almost feel like if it wasn't Mia in it, we wouldn't have even thought about the mother. We just would have thought the mother is just there as a placeholder for some mum that takes him to school. But the fact that it was her playing the role, we're like, okay, let's see what's going on. She's mentioned in the start of the movie a little bit, like she moved here because she kind of, her values align with the church, and she believes in this kind of magic. Invisible things are real. So like, okay, cool. We're getting somewhere with her, and then she just becomes a stone face the whole freaking movie, in a bit of a
And again, because of that, I didn't recognize it was her until halfway through the film, and even then, like, is that her? Is that really her? And then I googled it after we saw the film. It was her. It was like, oh, her name came up in the credits. But it's like, wow, okay. So if I have to give a worst point to this film, it would have to be her, unfortunately. Yeah, I just don't want to fully blame her. Like, the material she was given was possibly lackluster as well.
Really, well, if you think about it, she's a psychopath, because the first kid that got his head chopped, she would have known that it would have been the whatever the entity, and her son was under the same thing. You could see visible blood stains in his face and all this stuff that's going on. She's like, oh, I don't care. It's like she doesn't care about her son and what he's gone through.
Yeah. And she drives him to the preacher, the one that performs the curse on her. So, yeah, Mother of the Year.
It's just horrible. Like, does she even care? They didn't even touch on that. They just...
That's the thing. It's hard to read, like, because they don't give that information away. It's like, is she in on it? Is she even aware what she's doing to her kid? If she's aware, she's a monster, but we don't get that answer, so we don't know where to land on her role.
Yeah,
and
like,
then
the writing wasn't mature.
Sorry. Her final sequence is driving herself and Name, and they pull into a servo, and she comes out, and Name's run away. And even then, she's like, Name. She gets a little emotional, but it's probably more like, one of my possessions has left me.
Yeah. Name, you're supposed to help me cook roast dinner tonight. Actually, do it for me. You're supposed to cook me dinner because I'm busy.
You're supposed to clean the dishes.
So
she was the weakest part of the film. Bottom line, man. I was hoping to get more out of her, but not to be done, unfortunately.
And I feel like it's just kind of immature. Like, the writers didn't know how to write her properly. It's almost like, oh, she's a mum that knows what's going on, but they didn't know how to, like, how do we execute her character? They didn't really know how to.
The thing is, you say she's aware of it, but is she?
Is she?
You know,
yeah.
That's the problem. We don't get a clear enough explanation. Is she in on it? Is she not in on it? If she is, does she know the full extent of what she's got herself and her son into? None of this is answered, you know, and that's what tickles me more than anything, is the lack of clarity with her character.
Yeah.
So it's just a mixed bag.
Well, okay, in the end, how did we know Ryan was taking the bus? Did he mention it?
Well,
there might have
one
been.
Could find him.
So he knew. He's like, oh, he's probably at the bus stop, like leaving town like they mentioned
Yeah,
in
well,
the
because he said he wanted to get away from him,
yeah
and after the reveal plot twist of name informing the parents about Ryan's, sexual business. Did you? Funny enough, just a little off topic. Did you notice that they never actually said the word gay or homosexuality at all in this film? They
yeah
literally
no never.
avoided it ever being said. I was just like, obviously that's a creative choice. I just want to know the significance to why they avoided such words.
Maybe
It's
because they're
super
left
strange.
wingers, they're left wing people, and they don't believe gay should be a word. It should just be not a normalized. It's like
Clear.
saying,
It's very
oh,
clear.
it's like, oh, we're heterosexual. It's like all that just means you're not gay. I'm
we
making a
need
point, but
yeah,
I'm like the movie. I
we need Ask
can't.
P to clarify it.
Yeah, I can't articulate my point properly. Just like the writers
Yep.
couldn't articulate the mother properly.
Yeah. Um. So what else have we
And the
got?
bus ride. So I wasn't. It's like, man, what was the point of that bus ride? Like, I kind of get it, but it was so underwhelming. Like, there should have been
It's
some
not a happy
meaning.
ending, in my opinion. Like, it's a happy ending if you see it as like they're going to embrace themselves and not give a shit about this entity coming to kill them because they're happy being gay. I didn't see that as the ending at all. I saw it as they just like said whatever. They've accepted their fate, so to speak,
Yeah,
that they
but
are eventually going to die.
that's so dumb,
I just
man.
didn't think that was a clever ending.
It's like,
Yeah,
dude, what they
I
should have
was
done,
convinced.
they should have found a girl, made her pregnant, and then like try and get the demon away from the whole thing. Be like, all right, anything to have this demon away from me. You know what I'm saying? But no, they're like, you know what?
Made her pregnant.
Yeah. So
Very poor
then
choice of words.
it's almost like they would rather die and stay gay than marry, have kids, and be alive like that as well. That it's like, why choose
Well,
gay?
see, I think that's the point. Is like them being gay is them being alive, right? Whereas avoiding that is them being a slave to the system that expects that of them, which again is part of the metaphor of the whole
Yeah. Okay.
entity
Yeah.
cult kind of thing.
That's fair enough.
But to me, it just wasn't a clever ending. I thought it would have been a much more impacting ending if plot revealed Ryan was dead the moment that group of kids came to beat the shit out of them. The one that girl set
Mm.
up the trap. From that moment on, we basically don't know where Ryan is because every time we see Ryan after that point, it's the entity trying to get the name, right? I thought it would have been a much more clever
Mm.
ending if, Name's looking for Ryan at the end of the film, and there he is waiting at the bus stop. All right. We assume it's the real Ryan. They get on the bus together, they have a happy little ever after driving out. And then as they're driving out of town, all the police and the search and rescue guys that were looking for Ryan, as they're driving out, Name's not paying attention because he's resting his head on Ryan's shoulder. Cuts away and they find Ryan's dead
Dead.
corpse.
Yeah. That would
Dead.
be brilliant.
Yeah. And we get the gist that it was that group of kids that beat the crap out of him and ditched his body in the swamp or whatever. And we realize, oh shit, Name's with the entity and this is not going to be a happy ever after. Cuts to black. To me,
Yes.
that would have been a better ending, but what we got was just, I don't know, so foggy, for
Yeah.
lack of a better word.
Yeah,
And
like that scene where the whole ambush happens. We clearly saw Ryan get up, run to the
on the
car, and
ground.
drive on the ground. And where it should, it should have been where we're not sure. We didn't see him running to the car, so the car that pulls up picks up Name and took Name back to his house. That's when we should have been questioning, wait, is that really Ryan? Because we didn't see him get up from the floor after being beat
That's
up.
what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah, like he was on the ground, he was getting beaten with a 2x4, and it just seemed weird that the whole group, other than that one guy, would then suddenly target Name. I thought from that point onward, it was a delusion of some sort.
And that was an
Um,
interesting part. That car drive was interesting. I'm like, okay, is this the real or the fake? And it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
it's just the real one. Okay, cool. Nothing spectacular here.
Because I was like, because he's just driving straight forward, right? He's just not even
Yeah,
acknowledging Name, and I get it because he just realized
he's a
because of the
snitch.
girl Yeah, he snitched on him, and the only reason why he's in this situation to begin with is because of name. So he was pissed off at him. Cool, but that could also have been easily a what's the word? A bluff because of the entity. The
Yeah,
entity
yeah,
lures you in by making you feel sorry for it, right? In some ways, it's either tricks you to be infatuated by it, or it lures you in because it's like being all pitiful and sorry for itself. So again, this could have been just that entity thing,
yeah.
suckering name in.
They could have really
And
played with
before,
that. So yeah, they could have really played with that entity intelligence angle, and we
mm,
got a little bit of that, but that's all
mm,
we only got a little bit, and that's the only thing that they had gone for them, and we kind of didn't get that.
yeah, nitpicking the crap out of it, but like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, it
nitpick,
just
Nick.
didn't feel
Yeah,
like a whole film. It just didn't feel completed, and it does suffer for it. However, from my personal opinion of being one of those upstanding horror films of the year, it's not in that tier for me, in any means. But at the same time, it's not a crap film. It's just missing those beats that could have made it more memorable of a horror film. Because I'm not exactly going to be going out to look for this film ever again. I'm going to be doing it for a session. To a lesser extent, I'll be doing it for backrooms. But I have to compare it with those other two horror films because they are the flavor of the month at the moment, right? They all came out in the same time period.
it was better
So
than Chris Stuckman's film, though. I'd have to say it was still a little bit better.
it was because it was more original,
Yeah,
bottom line. Unfortunately, Stuckman's does suffer with the vanilla treatment. Everything in it was very vanilla. And it's the spectrum, right? You either play it safe and be vanilla, or be daring and try to be original with your concept, regardless of if it makes sense or not. So, like, if you're able to get somewhere in the middle, maybe you're gonna
yeah.
have a masterpiece. Who
Look,
knows?
but for Chris's defense, I guess he was the first one to do it. I think before the Raka Raka Boys, before
Yeah,
Markiplier, and
it was somewhere in the same time, but his film took a lot longer to make. And I do remember watching some of his reviews over the years that he was basically shooting the film piece by piece at some point.
right. So it
Doing
was a
doing a sequence
long.
here, doing a sequence there. It was a long process for Stuckman. I'm not exactly sure the reasons why, schedule reasons or production studio reasons, who knows. Um, but yeah, I don't want to discredit Stuckman. I really respect his opinions on films and his analytical approach, and I hope he continues to make another film. And I hope the next film he makes is the film he wants to make, and not the film that he was probably limited to. I'm assuming. I'm assuming maybe
Yeah,
that's the film he wanted to make, and if that's the case, cool. It's just very vanilla.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry to say, Chris.
Um,
Um,
but anyway, back to
yeah. Anyway,
the regularly scheduled movie review. We pretty much talked about what we need to talk about. I did like the
I think
scene
so.
with the priest and all that, and then they started like freaking going and like going crazy on the floor. That was cool.
Great performances, and the preacher, he had a real strong presence about him. I wanted to know more about what his connection is to this whole thing. Because is it just homophobia that they tackle, or is there other things? If this is an entity that can tackle a person's sexual urges, what else is this cult capable of? Right? And that's the question that it leaves me with.
Yeah,
Is this cult just about praying the gay away, or is there more to it? Is it like a larger thing?
it
We're
would.
never gonna know until there's a second film, I guess.
I just think, yeah, I don't know if they had the best intentions for the kids in it, because if they did, wouldn't they be
It
like,
did.
it didn't, yeah, and so the mother didn't, because the mother knew what was going on, but we didn't know if the mother was told the wrong thing as well. Like there was a part where Name's like, "Mom, do you know like what did they tell you?" And then she just like stone faced walked to the car. And I
You
want
tell me it would help you.
okay, but explain. Like listen, have
Yeah,
listen to what the kid has to. Oh god, dang it! Yeah,
exactly.
it was kind of
Yeah,
frustrating.
it's stuff like that by lore and by like logical questions that would take place that just doesn't happen in this film. It just basically tells you accept certain things without questioning into it. which to me doesn't make any sense. Because if I'm this kid in this point of view of experiencing this entity trying to kill me and witnessing it kill other people, I'll be one that trying to get to the freaking core front of it immediately with all the answers. I'd be knocking on that preacher's door. I'll be smacking my mother to like grow some emotion. To tell me something, give me anything. Yeah. So that stuff just doesn't make sense to me. It's just it tells you to accept it and to deal with it, and to by random luck find its weakness through a lighter and match it. And fire is its weakness. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. So we gave it a
The rules
6.
are not there.
We gave like a 6.5 out of 10. But if they hammered down another 20 minutes to explain stuff, and I could have given it like a 7.5 out. Like you would have gotten a pretty good score if they just like finished the stupid film. Not the stupid film, but the film.
Just a better ending, man. Just a better ending. Yeah. Yeah. Just the landing didn't stick, and that's what kills the film. Everything else was decent. It's the landing. It just hit on a broken note, and it's left the film more jarring than a clear cut for me. So I won't be exactly looking for this film again to watch.
No.
Simple as that.
But I'll be curious the next thing he directs. Because he's got talent. He knows how to shoot a good. He's got good the lighting and that was pretty good, especially in the warehouse scenes. I'm like, damn, that's well done.
And it wasn't because a lot of people can try and make the film look American. This film felt like Australia. This town, even though I've never been there, it felt like somewhere I've been before. Like every single shot felt like Australia. Whether it was just seeing a rundown server or a kiosk or, gum trees, of course, the industrial silo area that kind of looked like the outskirts of Newcastle to me. That it felt like it was intentionally a very Australian looking vibe to it. So I'll give him respects to that, because a lot of Australian directors, and admittedly myself included, do try to make the aesthetic look more American.
Yeah,
if that
true.
makes any sense.
Yeah, well,
because that's the flavor that everyone goes for. So respects to making it look like an actual Aussie film.
All right, and no further ado, and that wraps up the review. Let us know, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this film and why we're wrong about not liking the ending, and let us know if we're wrong about any parts. I'm curious. If you love this film,
was there something we missed?
Yeah, we missed something.
Was there a metaphor in this film that we missed? Please tell us.
Do we need to be gay to watch to enjoy the film? I don't know. Is there something that's got? Yeah, that could be it too.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Actually, there was a few. I remember when the boys started to kiss for the first time. There was like a crowd of people that were like, oh, like they were just surprised. They had no idea that they were gonna kiss. So.
And they were younger than us. I thought they would have been part of the generation. Like, I think we were the oldest people in that cinema.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, yep, this is the makeup session. So, cool.
Oh, man. Were you kind of uncomfortable with any of the makeup sessions, or were you just like indifferent? Like, oh, whatever. Like, let's get over it.
I was indifferent because I've watched Game of Thrones plenty enough. There's a lot of gayness in that. I was just curious to know how far they were going to take it. If it was going to get to the point where they literally strip naked and, start jerking each other off or something. It doesn't go that far.
No, but
they keep it rather PG when it comes to the sexual stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely not for the. I don't know. Some parts of the scenes of the sexual stuff was a bit over the top. It kind of made me like, oh man, like okay, this is dragging on too long. Like that scene in the bus where the name was getting jerked off. That was a bit over the top.
That definitely was unnecessary.
It's like, are they trying to prove a point? Are they trying to show us? Are they trying to piss us off or something? They're going a bit over the top.
I'm just trying to think of it if I was in that bus and I witnessed that happening. Regardless if they're gay or not, I was like, dude, don't fucking do that in public.
Yeah, it's just so inappropriate.
They're trying to express their love. Expression in a bedroom.
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably the one scene I was like, well, is it really needed? We get it. We know it. We know they're in love. We know. But again, it's shot in a way where it's not too strong. You know, you don't see much of anything. It's all implied more than shown.
Yeah.
So for me, it gets away with it without being over the top, for the most part.
All right. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next episode of Something.
Indeed.
Maybe
mention. Hold on, keep recording. Maybe mention an upcoming project of ours, which would be the classic gaming.
Oh yeah, that's true. So I set up the emulator, and me and Mitch will be able to do couch co-op video game sessions. So
classics.
Yeah. So we're gonna hit up all the classic PS1, PS2 games. We'll probably hit up Crash Team Racing and like Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Oh wait, I think the Return of the King is the only co-op one that we can play. So probably we'll just do
correct.
So if you like retro games, well, stay tuned. We got a surprise for you.
It's gonna be my childhood all over again.
Now let's get out of this shithole.